Have you ever noticed that you act differently in front of other people than what you normally would anywhere else? It's not a masculine trait, that's actually a bit of survival. Now, that's not necessarily your fault, but by the end of this video, I hope you'll have a better understanding of whether or not you're authentic or just a chameleon trying to fit into life. So, if you don't know who I am, my name's Daniel. It's nice to meet you. And I was on a Zoom meeting with my wife and some friends that we had met at a meditation conference yesterday. And we were talking about what it meant to be authentic. Now, if you take a second, you can pause the video, but think about this yourself. What does it mean to be authentic? What does your interpretation of the word authentic mean to you? And man, these guys, there was, I don't know, there's like 6 or 7 of us, and we started to brainstorm on what authentic really meant to us. And these guys can go deep, right? They're super smart. They know they're in touch with their feelings. They know how to express words very well, and they aren't afraid to speak their mind, and that's awesome. That's why I love this group so much. But anyways, it got me thinking about what I thought authentic was. I know that there are some people out there that act completely different to a certain group of people, or maybe they act differently to their boss than what they would to other coworkers, or maybe they act differently to their parents, or in a certain relationship, or their teachers, or whatever the case is. They act differently to that one person, but that's not necessarily who they are, right? So to me, that's not authentic, right? And you could feel completely different. And I hope if you do, put it down in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. But authentic to me is something that you can almost turn on and off at a certain point in a conversation or in a situation or a certain time in life, and you can be authentic in a moment. And that's how I feel. Like, I am being authentic to you right now as I'm speaking to you because I'm looking inward and I'm feeling authentic, and I'm trying to express my emotions and my feelings in an authentic way, right? But here in about 10 minutes, when I walk away from this camera, my authenticness might go away, and then I got to be someone completely different because whatever the situation is. That's unique, right? Now, the group were they were talking about you can be authentic for long periods of time. And sure, you can, but there's certain times I feel like there's gaps. Like, you can be authentic for 10 or 15 minutes, and then you kind of go back to your normal self, and then another gap, and then so on and so forth. And just thinking about like how you feel in your heart, or who you're talking to, or what you're watching makes you feel these different things, and that is authentic. Now, if I'm authentic, you may feel like I'm not authentic, and that's you being authentic to yourself and thinking about something because you're judging me in a way, and that is your form of authenticity. So if you could comprehend that, it makes complete sense, because as humans, we're constantly judging one another. We are always comparing each other to ourselves or to others, and that's not necessarily authentic. But if that's who we are at that point in time, and if that's how we feel, and if it brings us like a sense of joy to do it, then, maybe that is a sense of authenticity, right? And we can go around and around and around. And I just want you guys to think about this, okay? If you're kind of on the fence, and if you're wondering like, what do I feel? Like, what makes me authentic? Well, ask yourself, how do you like to be treated as a human, as a brother, as a sister, as a husband? How how do you like to receive that? Whatever it is that you're getting, reciprocating from that other person, if it's love but in the form of a touch or a kiss, then I feel that if you reciprocate that back, if you love that person, you give them a kiss, or if you love them and give them a hug, that's your form, that's you being authentic to that person. I know it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It makes sense in my mind right now. So hopefully it makes sense as I'm spitting it out to everybody. I just want you guys to think about this. Think about, am I being authentic? And if I am being authentic, can I be more authentic? Can I hold that moment in time longer throughout the day? Because if you can do that, then you're bettering yourself, but you're making yourself way more lovable. You're making yourself a better person in my eyes than what you were before. If you had the choice to spend the rest of your life with somebody, would you choose an authentic person, or would you choose a chameleon, right? Someone that could just adapt to the situations, but you never knew what that person was because they were always going back and forth, right? For me, I want an authentic person. Whether or not that person's good in certain situations is one thing, but at least I know the person's being authentic and they're being their deepest, who they want to be deep down in their heart. They're being genuine to themselves and to their own soul. So that's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. That's the person I want to be stranded on a desert island with. That's the person that I'm trying to raise as children coming up, is to be authentic to yourself and just to be that loving, caring person that I know everybody has in their heart. So if you could do this, be a little more authentic today. Be a little more charismatic today. Be a little more punctual today. Be a little better today than you were an hour ago or before you watched this video. And when you do that, catch yourself and say, you know what, I'm authentic. I was authentic to the person at the bus stop or whatever. Now let me carry that on to do something else. Let me carry that on to be authentic to the person at the grocery store or in the gas station line or at the library or whatever it is, and then keep that momentum rolling and see what happens, right? I bet you'll feel pretty darn good at the end of the day. Maybe you're a person that doesn't like to be around people at all, but they like you. You're a likable person. You're not just some weirdo. Then being a little more authentic in your life could dig yourself out of that hole. Um, I challenge you, if there's anyone out there watching this video and you feel that way, try it and see what happens. And then, if it works or if it doesn't, I'd be curious. Put it in the comments. Come back to the video, put it in the comments, and I'd be curious to see what happens. So, anyways, thanks for listening. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you have questions, put it down in the comments below. I'll answer those the best I can. And let's see what we could do here. Be authentic to somebody today. You'll feel better if you do. I appreciate it, everyone. Have a great day.